The red hats are coming, so I came out here to mock MAGA. My country's being destroyed. I spend a lot of time crying.
I'm giving you a platform right now to speak your mind, and neither you or her have given me proof.
Putting words in our mouths.
yes.
I think you're just being bitchy.
Hey everyone, it's Savannah. We are here at Cal State Long Beach at the Charlie Kirk Prove Me Wrong tour. I am so excited. It is going to be an amazing day. We're going to be getting some content, and there's one little liberal protester that we're going to go and try to talk to and see why she's so angry. Let's go.
I don't understand somebody who's had to shove that far up the ass of a
Hi ma'am, how are you? I'm making videos for my YouTube channel. I'd like to know why you're out here today.
I'm out here because I heard the red hats were coming. The red hats are coming!
The red hats are coming!
The red hats are coming, so I came out here to mock MAGA.
Okay, so what's the biggest issue that you're concerned about right now in America?
There are so many. My country's being destroyed. I spend a lot of time crying. They are destroying my country.
Who's they? Like who specifically?
MAGA.
All these people?
MAGA.
Do you think it's weird that there's a lot of women and like minorities out here?
Not really. I mean, because I believe that Americans are all equally vulnerable to brainwashing and equally vulnerable to the lies of a felon and a con man. I'm just really sad that there are this many Americans that there are this weak.
Yeah. Well, you believe Trump's racist, right?
Oh yeah.
So why would all these brown and black people be out here supporting Trump, do you think?
That's something you'd have to ask them. I don't know. I mean, it's easy for me to stand over here as a white person and say, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's using them. He hates them. I see it as being pretty embarrassing and sad, but they don't obviously see it that way, so.
Yeah. What's one thing that he did to black people that shows that he's racist?
Lots of things. I mean, he's bringing back stop and frisk. His commentary, his words.
What did he say?
What he said when he was at that black journalist dinner. Oh my God, that was the most racist thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I can't.
What did he say?
He was asking the woman to you're not being nice enough to me. I mean, it's just the way he talks down to people, and especially black women.
That's racist? Just saying
he talks down to black women. Oh my gosh. It's like he was treating her like his slave. It was really awful, I thought.
You think he was treating her like his slave?
That's how it felt to me. But again, I'm just clearly to other. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Why don't we ask somebody? Why are you're not white, right?
I was born in Mexico. I'm a Latino.
Okay, so you're an immigrant. Explain to her and I why in the world is a brown person supporting Donald Trump?
You know what? Because he stands for freedom. First of all, he's exposing everything that's going on with our country. That's one thing. And he loves this country. I have never seen any president since I've been here in the United States that shows the love for this country and the people, which is more important.
Okay, she says that he's racist, and she doesn't understand. She thinks it's embarrassing that brown and black people are out here and women are out here supporting this president. I mean...
So what has he done that's racist?
Well, do you want to...
I mean, everything he does is racist.
Well, it's just one, though. You said something that he said.
Ran on birtherism, which is so profoundly racist right there. I mean, anybody who denies it's so hard. It's very hard for me with that thing. It was so close to me.
Okay.
But anybody who tried to call Obama not a citizen because of birtherism is just flatly racist. It's objectively racist.
I mean, isn't it fair to question if somebody was actually born here? Because you're not allowed to run if you're not born here.
It wasn't just questioning. I mean, it was a conspiracy theory and a lie based on rank racism.
Yeah, so if it's a lie, then why does it matter?
Full-page ad trying to execute the Central Park 5. He is so racist. He makes racism. I just can't even believe anybody doesn't. Like, it's so mind-blowing to me when people are like, I just don't get it.
Why would a racist permanently fund HBCUs and minority institutions?
Con man.
Why would...
You're very biased and you're clearly looking for an answer.
But why would a racist do that?
Oh, honey.
Why would he permanently fund HBCUs? You're very biased as well, but that's the amazing thing about America is that we can have differing opinions and have a conversation.
You don't want to hear my answer.
I do. That's why I walked up to you. Don't walk away. I think it's very brave of you out here. There's thousands of people out here, and you're the only one with a different opinion. That takes a lot of bravery.
There's lots of other people with different opinions.
Okay, but I want to know why you feel it's like so important to be out here. You haven't given me an actual
48-year-old republic is dying.
You haven't given me proof though. Like, if I'm obviously not white. Tell me why I shouldn't support this man.
I can't answer a question. You're going to keep talking over me.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
He is violating our laws. He is violating our Constitution. He is a felon, and he is a fascist. And everything he is doing, he is consolidating all power into his own hands, and he is destroying American liberty.
Do you think he's losing money?
People off the streets of our cities.
Who's disappeared?
Disappearing. I'm a daughter of the American Revolution, and he's the
Mexican immigrant. My father's a Mexican immigrant. You can't have dialogue. That's the problem.
Don't run away from a Mexican immigrant.
You can't. You won't let me answer a question without doing.
First of all, can I say I'm so sorry that everyone's trying to surround you and try to isolate you, making it seem like you're the only one here that actually cares about what's going on. I just want to let you know that she's out here representing a lot of people. A lot of people are actually scared to speak their mind, but some of us are not, and we're not going to let you guys come right here trying to overstep us just because you think you have some sort of power. So, no.
I'm giving you a platform. She doesn't think I have power because of the color of my skin. She thinks that I'm under people like Trump and white people. That's what you guys believe, right?
No.
I'm giving you a platform right now to speak your mind, and neither you or her have given me proof.
Putting words in our mouths.
yes,
I think you're just being bitchy.
Trump is oppressing people of color? Do you think Trump is oppressing people of color? So she is oppressed. Do you believe that she is oppressed?
She put words in my mouth that I didn't say, and that is offensive and it's insulting.
Do you think that black people are oppressed in this country?
Yes.
So I was right.
I think black people are oppressed in this
So
country.
I was right. So we agree.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm a Latino.
Now you're gonna walk away, right? Because you don't want to have a conversation.
What? You're aggressive and you're
I was born
mean.
in Mexico, brother. I'm a Latino. Do I look white or what?
If you won't let me answer a question, you turn your microphone to somebody else before I finish. You're rude. If you want to ask questions, ask them politely and don't cut somebody off. And don't put words in their mouth.
All right. So what brings you out here?
Like being factual. I'm very observant. I'm not here to argue. I'm open to perspective, even if I disagree. You were asking why you think a lot of people voted for Trump, or why there's a bunch of black and brown individuals out here. And I think this goes across the board, whether it's Trump, politics, even if I have my own personal opinion. I believe a lot of people are single policy voters and actually don't understand the depth of what they're voting for goes into. And to answer your question about, you had a second question about the HBCUs, right? What's it called now?
Why would a racist permanently fund HBCUs and minority institutions?
That's a good point. But then again, when we're looking at everything that's happening with DEI and the HBCUs and how he threatened to take away the funding. I mean, we did have another president that also was trying to strip down the funding. I won't ignore that either. But it just kind of seems contradictory. So my question is, was it simply a promotional act to try to get the black and brown individuals to vote for him, knowing that's a large group? I mean, I'm not even going to give you the statistic, black and brown individuals that make up the majority or minority of the United States. But I do think it was a political move. And that's just based on what I've observed and factual opinions, not necessarily, not factual opinions, factual facts instead of my opinion. But I just wanted to answer the questions because she wasn't answering them.
I think that he's rolling back DEI because DEI makes black and brown people and women feel like, well, if I don't have this system put in place, people think that I can't achieve something. That I need, as a black woman, needs extra help. I need some system put in place for me to get a job. When in all actuality, you should be getting into a school, you should be getting a job because you're qualified for the job. It shouldn't have anything to do with what you look like, where you come from. It should be based on your qualifications. And quite frankly, it's a waste of money. It is targeting white students and Asian students who also deserve to go to school, and people who are not up to the par to be into an Ivy League school and aren't going to thrive shouldn't be going to an Ivy League school.
I agree. So the thing about that is, all that is true, and I believe that's idealistic. Well, it's not idealistic. That's what the ideal thing is. The problem is, we don't live in a reality that actually abides by that. So if you're qualified to get in, you should be able to get in. I mean, I don't remember when it was put in place. It was either between the 60s and the 80s. Don't quote me on that. I don't know the exact dates. But it was supposed to be put in place to help. It wasn't supposed to be a guarantee that you get into university based on the color of your skin, because I agree, the color of your skin shouldn't determine your qualifications. If you're qualified, you're qualified. But unfortunately, we live in a society or a country, I wouldn't even say it's just America, where sometimes I would say this discrimination is in place. I mean, they have like rules saying, oh, we're not going to discriminate against you. This won't be taken into account when your application is submitted. But unfortunately, that's been the case. I mean, from the what's it called? I'm going to say the South. I would say mostly the South. I can't speak for California specifically. California is more, I would say, more liberal, but it was mainly put in place to prevent black and brown individuals from being discriminated against when they're submitting their applications to these colleges.
Now, what was put in place specifically?
What's it called? Was it affirmative action? Okay, affirmative action. As for the DEI thing, I can understand perspective even if I don't agree with it, but I'm going to bring something up. Louisiana, I don't know if you heard of it recently, there was a Louisiana school board that actually rolled back one of the policies that they had for Brown v. Board versus Brown versus Board of Education, sorry about that. And what's it called? It would legally allow them to discriminate against black and brown individuals in the schools and determine whether or not they're allowed to attend it, all on the basis of DEI, because I guess it was under their DEI section. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, if there was a situation where they put in place some system where it was allowed to specifically target black and brown students just because of the color of their skin, of course, I condemn that. That is not okay. But I believe DEI in itself is racist for the reasons that I mentioned before, is that it's making it seem like women and minority people need all of this extra help, need this extra system put in place for them to achieve something, which isn't the truth. I mean, my husband is an immigrant. You look at immigrants that come into this country, they're some of the highest scoring tests, they have the highest test scores. They're the ones that make the most money. I mean, Indian Americans come over here and they're even above white people. They're the highest earning individuals because they come over here, they take it seriously, and they work for it. A lot of people who are coming into our country, even people on student visas, aren't coming over here because they have this great respect for the country and they want to make this place a better place. They're just coming over here because they have the opportunity to do so, and some of them, unfortunately, these people who are the pro-Palestine protesters who have done these crazy sit-ins and campouts on college campuses, just want to make a voice for themselves and cause up trouble, and that's not okay. Especially when you're tied to an organization, or excuse me, it's a terrorist organization, Hamas, that we don't allow in this country. They don't respect Americans.
If we're going to speak about that specifically, I know that's been talked about time and time again. Do you believe, what about the people that are separating themselves from the Hamas terrorist organization and simply supporting the Palestinian people? Not saying they're against Israel, Israel having a right to defend itself, but simply advocating for a group of people that did not have control of the outcome, who are stuck in those things. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, if you want to advocate for a group of people, I hate what's going on. I hate war. I don't like to see anyone dying. I'm America first, so if someone were to say, oh, are you Israel or Palestine? I'm saying I'm America first. Something that's going on in another country has nothing to do with me. I don't think we should be giving money to Israel. I don't think we should be giving money to Palestine. I don't think we should be giving money to anyone until everybody in our country is protected and we get rid of our debt, because we are trillions of dollars of debt. This is not okay. We have veterans that are dying on the streets, that are limbless, they don't have a home, yet we're sending billions of dollars to Ukraine. We're sending millions and hundreds of millions of dollars to Israel. That's not okay.
I can definitely understand the perspective, especially considering, the United States has been so invested in Israel since the 1930s, not even since the 1930s, before and after, especially after World War II, we essentially, the Palestinians were occupying the land. I'm going to say that because I like looking at history, occupying the land beforehand, and a lot of people will take it back to the biblical age and say, well, this is originally Israeli land.
Which I mean is the truth. We
can acknowledge that, but I disagree that, and I know that you didn't necessarily say this, but those people should have been removed from the land or forced off the land.
Should be removed?
Removed from the land. Palestinians were removed from the land because there has been a lot of history there between Israeli and the Palestinians. If you go back to the Bible times, the Palestinians translates to the Philistines. So I know there's a lot of historic tension there. And in today's modern age, I think there should have been more of a coming together rather than a separation, because there's so much tension there and Palestinian people getting kicked off the land. I don't agree with that. But back to my whole point about, the United States, having a say in what's going on in Israel. I agree. I believe that we should be America first when it comes to dealing dealing with our issues at home and our domestic policies because we send billions of dollars to other countries to deal with their aid. But if we look at the United States historically for a second, it's so easy. We've been outsourcing everything, our products, our technology. Look at our iPhones. Look at what our iPhones, the different parts of our iPhones come from. We outsource a whole bunch of things, but we never actually take the time to focus on what's going on in America. So I do agree with that.
Okay.
I do understand your perspective on the whole DI thing. Even I would say I disagree. I can see your perspective, and to an extent I agree, but I think that what it was originally intended for, maybe the system just needs to be revised.
Yeah, but I don't think that there's any institution and there's any laws that are saying like black people are going to purposely have a harder time doing this just because of a law. But when you make everything about race and gender and where you have come from, and if you're LGBTQ+, that becomes the focus rather than, can this person do the job? I mean, I'm from New York, and I know that Fordham was doing these things where they were giving black students these, what do you call them, scholarships for literally just being black. But they didn't have those for white people. They didn't have those for Asian people, so that's not fair. And it's racist in itself, because why are you just giving somebody a scholarship because of the color of their skin? I thought we were supposed to not be looking at color, not be making that a huge issue.
Personally, I believe in equal opportunity. I think DEI was initially created to kind of raise the bar so there was an equal playing field, but I definitely understand the perspective of maybe things have changed from when it was initially created until now, and how people are more focused on race, and that's what's getting people into these universities and colleges. But I do think the original purpose and what it was intended for was to essentially help.
Yeah, me too. So I think that it did.
It needs to be revised. Maybe it's a call to actually look at what's going on in our political systems, our economic systems, our education systems. Maybe that's what it says instead.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I think that pulling back all that funding, the millions and millions of dollars that they were getting, I mean, these DEI experts were making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in salary. It's like, you're not making anything better. All they've done is divide us further and further and further. And I think that's why the Trump administration is cutting it back so much, because it's not effective.
Okay. So in regards to, well, that's a different conversation. I actually had other questions. Very much.
Yeah, what else do you want to ask?
Financial aid for students. You know, student loans, what's it called? The scholarships. You were talking about scholarships. You were talking about grants and loans. So there's nothing confirmed, but there's been a lot of speculation about students that are going to be affected by that moving forward, and what the Trump administration plans to do in terms of revising the education system. Do you have any opinions on that, or like in terms of them pulling back grant or possible aid? Because as a student, for me personally, I don't even know if I'll have enough to go to school here next year. So I just wanted your opinion on that.
Well, first of all, I think that college is entirely too expensive in this country, but we can't make college free because nothing is free. The taxpayers are going to have to pay, and I should not be forced to pay for anything that you do. I shouldn't be forced to pay for your abortions. I shouldn't be forced to pay for your health care, and I definitely shouldn't be forced to pay for your college, when college is not necessary for you to go on with your life. It's not necessary. It's not a human right to have college, and I think that's where people kind of get things mixed up. But you should not be able to be given a loan unless you know that you can pay it back, 100%.
So I had like a thought, kind of blanked for a second. What's it called? In terms of, I mean, I can understand the perspective, but then again, we still live in a country, or wouldn't you say a society, that promotes if you don't have this degree, if you don't have X amount of credentials, then you are not allowed to be certified in this position, even if that person has that experience. So I feel like there is that balance that I was talking about. It's missing. So even if that is true, the problem is if these people don't have certain certifications, they're still not allowed to these positions.
Okay, so if that's something that you really want to do, I would say that you work really hard, save money, and when you're ready and can financially afford to go through that degree, if that's something that you need to do your profession, then that's when you do it.
But then it also talks about different factors: cost of living, housing, what's it called? It's going up. It just keeps going up, and it's going to continue to. So it's like, what do we do about that? Do you have any suggestions on how we can, like, as American citizens? I mean, we just talked about, like, I guess we just talked about how much foreign aid we're paying to other countries, and how that should be put back into the economy and put back into the citizens. What's it called?
Well, my concerns are we give nearly $700 million to Planned Parenthood every single year, which is a 501c3. They should not be taking our taxpayer dollars. $700 million is a lot of money. I'd like to have even just a sliver of that, right? That's where we're paying for other people's abortions. We're paying for other people's birth control. Nobody's paying for my health services. And so why should I be forced to pay for other people's? The Hyde Amendment is supposed to protect us from that. And no pro-life organization is stealing from the government like Planned Parenthood is. And the next issue is that why are we giving so much to people who can't come into this country legally. My husband is an immigrant. He spent thousands and thousands of dollars to come here legally. He's still waiting for his green card, waited months upon months for his work authorization. The job market is really, really hard. But we went through it because we knew that that was the process, and he respects this country. He wants to come here to contribute to the economy. He's not just trying to leech off the government. And it just goes back to, why are we not going to Americans first? Think about if we even just took a little bit of the amount of money that Planned Parenthood gets, or the amount of money that we've been giving to these illegal immigrants that are just storming into our country, a lot of them MS-13 gang members, rapists, people like that killed Laken Riley, Jose Ibarra. He's not coming here for a better life. He literally was in a relationship, and he hunted Laken Riley down on her college campus, tried to rape her, and then brutally assaulted her and killed her by bashing her head in with a rock. And I went to another rally a couple months ago, and I asked people, should somebody like this deserve to be in the country? Not only did he break the law by coming into this country illegally, but he also brutally assaulted and killed somebody. And they couldn't condemn it. It's really, really terrifying, but yet they say they want to deport Elon Musk. It's just the lack of consistency. I have a lot of empathy for people that want to come to America. I know that this is a land of opportunity, but there's a process, just like in every other country, in almost every other country. If you go to India and you try to go in there illegally, you're getting deported if you don't get killed first. Okay? And so for people saying that, America is racist right now and that we're not allowing immigrants in, it's a really actually pretty smooth process. It's a lot of paperwork to get over here legally, but it's a pretty smooth process.
Okay, yeah, I believe there's due process to things. I know there's a lot going on politically in terms of immigration status, ICE. I won't even get into all that. That's a whole different conversation. I have a project to finish, so I won't get into that right now. But I do believe that the way things are being handled necessarily aren't they're not the most humane, especially with what I'm seeing in the media. Then again, I tend to do my own research before immediately believing what I'm saying, because I know with media it can be twisted or certain aspects only shown.
What's not humane about what's going on?
I don't know if you realize that the White House posted a video not too long ago. They did an ASMR of the chains that they were putting the immigrants in before deporting them back to their country. Things such as those, what's it called? I think there was an ICE immigration bingo card that was posted. Stuff like that. I feel like, going on campuses to schools, waiting for pulling the children out of class and then waiting for their parents to show up. I don't believe that's the correct way to do things.
So
I'm specifically talking about the non-violent immigrants.
Yeah, so if a child is born here in America but has parents who came here illegally, don't you think it would be better for them to go back to their home country with their parents than be staying here? They'd be put into the foster care system or wherever they'd put them in the cages that Obama created. I mean, if parents are getting deported, I think that it's really great for the children, even if they're born here. Nobody's forcing them to bring their child with them. The child isn't being deported. They're just going back to their parents' home country with their parents. I want them to be with their parents.
I'm specifically talking about the situations where ICE officers have come onto campus to try to get the children pulled out of class in order to call the parents. I'm specifically talking about those situations because we were referring to inhumane situations and going about it the wrong way.
Okay, what would you prefer that they do? Because the alternative is that kid getting on the bus and going home to their parents not being there because they're being detained because they're about to be deported.
The school system, with the way the school system works and the way schools are designed, they're there to protect their children in any instances, whether it be from parents, whether it be from individuals coming onto campus to cause harm. And I don't believe that having officers sent on campus to pull the children out of school, first of all, I think that's traumatizing for the child. When their teachers they literally say their duty is to protect the child, to have them come onto campus and pull the child out of class to try to get the parents to come in and take the parents. I don't think that's okay.
But whose fault is that? Is that the ICE agents that have to go and do that even though it's traumatizing, or was it the fault of the parents who came here illegally and now have put their child in this situation?
Well, I can definitely understand the perspective, but I still don't believe that's the correct way to do it when a school is supposed to be a learning environment for a child, a safe learning environment, and pull them out in order to, trap their parents into coming onto campus to take their parents away. I don't think that's the right way to do it, especially with, like I said, what school systems are supposed to be designed to do, what the campus is supposed to, represent. So I can't necessarily speak on other methods of how to I'm not even going to speak on ICE and how they go about arresting or removing the parents from whether the home or public places, but I just don't think the school is the correct way to do it. You asked me specifically about inhumane methods that I've seen, and that's what I'm referring to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think it's inhumane, especially if that child's parents are, drug dealers, rapists, criminals. They need to be removed from their parents.
I'm referring to the non-violent immigrants.
Okay.
Yeah. I clarified that in the beginning. I like parameters.
Oh, okay, sorry, I missed that. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said before, they need to be with their parents if they're going to be deported. I think it would be best, if they're nonviolent, to be going with their parents back to their home country. That's who they're, most safe with. That's who they know, rather than just being put into the system here in America.
I mean, it's not a completely different conversation, but I can understand your perspective.
All right. Well, awesome. Thank you. So nice to meet you. Have a great day.
Conversation.
Yeah, you too.
And also, make sure you go subscribe to our channel. Go check out Charlie Kirk and Morgan Michaels. Get the populism moving, baby. It's going worldwide. Shout out to George Simeon. Shout out to Nigel Farage and everybody in Europe. We're coming to liberate you.
Amazing. Thank you.